Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's been contemplated for ages: creation. Specifically, we're looking at the captivating narrative laid out in the Quran.
It's a story that really delves into the core of existence, offering profound insights into how the universe, the natural world, and even humankind itself all began.
Absolutely. We'll journey through key themes: the 6 days of creation, the stories of Adam and Eve, the angels and the jinn, and finally, the incredible order and harmony of the universe as depicted in the Quran. I'm already excited to uncover some insights.
Well, let's start with the 6 days of creation. One of the first things the Quran asks us to think about is the idea of time itself. It doesn't actually define how long each day was using the word yom, which could represent various lengths of time.
So it's not necessarily 6 24-hour days. It sounds more like a symbolic understanding.
Exactly. It's about understanding the grandeur and scale of creation unfolding with divine purpose and intention.
That's fascinating. So what does the Quran tell us about the order of creation within these 6 days or periods?
The Quran paints a breathtaking picture of the universe coming into being. It begins with the creation of the heavens and the earth, initially enveloped in darkness. Then, light is brought forth, splitting it from the darkness and illuminating everything.
It's like an artist revealing a masterpiece, stroke by stroke.
That's a great analogy. And then, the heavens are separated further, forming the sky as we know it. Water comes down, and vegetation sprouts from the earth, bringing life and sustenance to the world.
Wow, this incredible progression from formless to form, darkness to light, simple to complex.
Precisely. And this continues as the sun and moon are set in their orbits, becoming guides and markers of time. Finally, God creates living creatures, ending with humankind.
It's remarkable how the Quran emphasizes order and purpose. There's clear intention behind every stage.
Absolutely. And this divine intention is conveyed through God's command be, bringing each element into existence immediately. It highlights the Creator's power and will, shaping the universe with a single word.
It's awe-inspiring and humbling to consider that power. Speaking of awe-inspiring, let's move to Adam and Eve, a story central to many faiths.
It's a story that explores deep questions about human nature, free will, and our relationship with the divine. The Quran tells us that Adam was formed from clay, shaped by God's own hands, and given life with the divine breath.
That imagery is so intimate and caring, imbuing him with the very essence of life.
You're right, and this special status is highlighted by the angels being commanded to bow before Adam, recognizing his unique capacity and potential.
Suggesting a privileged position within creation. But then comes choice, symbolized by the forbidden tree. That's where free will enters the story.
Yes, Adam and Eve are given the freedom to choose, with the potential for both obedience and disobedience.
And of course, they choose to disobey, which leads to consequences, right?
Yes, they do. They face the consequences of their actions, but the Quran doesn't present it as purely punitive. It focuses on their sincere repentance and God's boundless mercy and forgiveness.
So it's not just transgression and punishment, but also redemption and the possibility of returning to grace. It reflects the complexity of human experience, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It speaks to our capacity for good and evil, our vulnerability to temptation, and our longing for forgiveness and reconciliation. It's a story that continues to resonate because it reflects our own struggles. It's like this beautiful idea of returning, of cycles, that really connects with another aspect of the Quran's creation narrative, the cyclical nature of creation itself.
Oh, yeah. The Quran mentions the day and night, how they alternate as part of creation.
Exactly. It's not just going from beginning to end straight line. The Quran shows these recurring patterns, cycles of dark and light, growth and decay, life and death. Creation is a dynamic process, unfolding under divine will.
It reminds me of the ocean tides, the seasons changing, even just breathing in and out, this rhythm to everything.
It's a great way to put it. The Quran wants us to really think about these rhythms, to see them as signs of God's ongoing creative power. Changes how we view time, doesn't it?
Definitely. Even in stillness, there's that underlying movement, transformation. It's a beautiful thought.
Indeed. Creation isn't just a one-time event, but something continuous, eternally sustained by the divine. Now, speaking of beings part of this divine plan, let's look at angels. The Quran describes them as pure light, created from light, fully devoted to God's will.
It's striking, that imagery of their creation, highlighting their ethereal nature, so close to the divine.
You're right. The Quran emphasizes their purity and obedience. They're messengers, guardians, recorders of deeds. For instance, the angel Gabriel, so important, bringing revelation to the prophets.
And the angels carrying God's throne, that image always fills me with awe. The sheer scale of God's power, the grandeur of creation.
Powerful, isn't it? It shows us how limited our human understanding is compared to divine reality. But alongside angels, the Quran also introduces the jinn.
Ah, yes, the jinn. They always seem so mysterious, even portrayed negatively sometimes.
True, but the Quran gives us a more balanced view. Describes them as beings made from smokeless fire, with free will, just like humans, and like us, capable of both good and evil.
So they mirror us in a way.
Precisely. The Quran even tells of jinn who heard Prophet Muhammad reciting the Quran and chose to believe, embracing faith and righteousness.
Showing that guidance and understanding are there for all creation, no matter their form.
That's a beautiful point. And this leads us to the final part of our exploration, the order and harmony built into the universe itself. The Quran has so many verses pointing to this perfectly balanced, interconnected creation.
Like reading a cosmic poem, everything has its place in this grand symphony of existence.
Perfect analogy. For example, it talks about the heavens being balanced, the sky a canopy well guarded, showing its stability, its protective nature.
So not just visual beauty, but the structure of the universe designed for stability and purpose.
Exactly. This precision is also in how the Quran describes the sun and moon, their movements so precise, regulating time and seasons.
Makes you appreciate the complexity, the order behind something we take for granted. The sun rising and setting, the seasons changing.
Absolutely. The Quran encourages us to look deeper, to see these everyday things not as mundane, but as signs of divine wisdom and power at work.
And these signs, are they meant to guide us toward a greater understanding of God?
Exactly. They're like breadcrumbs scattered throughout creation, guiding us back to the source, reminding us that the Creator is present in every single thing.
It's amazing how the Quran encourages us to be curious, to observe the natural world. It doesn't oppose scientific inquiry at all, does it?
No, not at all. Many scholars believe the Quran's focus on reason and reflection actually helped science develop within Islamic civilization.
Wow, I didn't realize that connection was so strong.
It's often overlooked. The Quran doesn't see faith and science as opposites. Instead, it encourages us to use our intellect, observe, question, seek knowledge, to understand and appreciate creation.
So it's not blind faith, but a journey of discovery.
Exactly. And the Quran repeats this idea of active engagement. Phrases like those who reflect, those who understand, those who have knowledge. It's about using our minds and our hearts.
Like it's saying, don't just take my word for it. Go see for yourself. Think about it. Learn.
That's beautifully put. Through this exploration, this engagement with creation, we see the divine wisdom in every part of existence.
It's been amazing trying to unravel this tapestry of knowledge and wonder in our deep dive today. Really enriching.
I agree. It's just a glimpse into what the Quran teaches about creation, but hopefully it sparked some awe and curiosity.
For sure. It's highlighted for me how the Quran's creation account isn't just a story. It's a way to understand our place in the universe, our relationship with the divine, and our responsibility to all creation.
Well said. It's a call to live in harmony with nature, to see the interconnectedness of everything, and to appreciate the divine in every single thing.
A message that speaks to everyone, no matter their background or beliefs. We're all part of something much bigger than ourselves.
And in that vastness, we find not only awe, but a sense of belonging, purpose, even hope.
As we wrap up, thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and reflection.
And we hope you'll keep thinking about the wonders of creation. Keep seeking knowledge, observing the world with new eyes, and find inspiration in the divine wisdom that's everywhere.